Hello, and welcome to a video on ROTA, Realms of the Ancients, a tabletop role-playing game developed by Immortal House. I'm Joseph March, though I go by Joe, and I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Immortal House and your host for this video. This video will focus on character creation as described in the ROTA core rulebook. We're developing 2 character creation videos, one that has a longer explanation and one that has a shorter. Both are a creation of different characters if you want to see 2 different example characters. Otherwise, the longer explanation is better for new players, and the shorter explanation is better as a reminder for veteran players. This video is the longer explanation. The example character on your screen is being built in the ROTA character sheet, which is available on DriveThruRPG for free. Step 1 is to select the character's species, origin, and transformation, and come up with a backstory of who the character was before joining this team. There are 16 different species in ROTA. Each have their own abilities and stat bonuses. For the sake of simplicity, we'll have this first example character be a human. A character's origin is kind of like an archetype or a class in other systems. The 3 origins available in the core rulebook are the warrior, the operative, and the magus. Warriors have access to a special power called bonuses. Bonuses can increase the chance to hit and the damage of attacks, can grant resistance to certain elements, or can grant increased armor and regeneration. Operatives have access to a special power called skills. Skills grant a bonus whenever you're attempting to do something particular. These can be anything from talking to someone for a persuasive purpose to dodging an attack. Magi have access to spells. Spells use spirit energy but are always effective and always hit if they're a combat spell. It's important to note that while bonuses are specific to warriors, skills are specific to operatives, and spells are specific to magi, there are ways for a warrior to get spells or skills, for an operative to get bonuses or spells, and for a magi to get bonuses or skills. One of the best ways is through their transformation, and we'll get to that in a second. Again, for simplicity, let's select warrior. Of the 3 origins, the warrior is easily the most straightforward. Finally, there's the character's transformation. This is the real flavor of the character. Transformations can also give access to bonuses, skills, and spells, just like the origin did. For power gaming, this allows you to double up on the same type of powers, or for more balanced play, you can get different types of powers for a character that normally wouldn't have access to them. To give a good example of this, let's select Ancient for our transformation. The Ancient will give Magus-like abilities, giving spells to the character even if they shouldn't have them. As a result, our Warrior Ancient will basically be a warrior with spells. So we've selected our species, human, our origin, warrior, and our transformation, ancient. As for a backstory for who the character was before joining their team, we're going to say that this character was a mercenary. You can get much more detailed in your backstories, and I would actually recommend that, but since this is a test character, there's not a lot of reason to go into more detail at the moment. On a whim, I've decided his name is Hector. Here you see the top of the Realms of the Ancients character sheet filled out. We've got the character name Hector, the player name is my name, his tier is tier 1 because this is starting character, species human, origin warrior, transformation ancient. We've jumped ahead a little bit here because step 2 in character creation is to fill in the character name, player name, and tier of the character, typically 1 unless the game leader specifies otherwise for some reason. This moves us on to step 3. Combine the stats of the character's species with those of the character's origin and write them on the character sheet. Also place any additional points in the stats you wish if additional points are given. In ROTA, all characters have 3 stats: physical, social, and technical. Physical is used anytime your body is engaged in doing something. Social is used whenever you're trying to convince someone or something or lie to them. Technical is used for anything involving the mind. Humans gain 1 to each of these 3 stats and 1 point to put where they want. Warriors gain 2 to physical and 2 points to put where they want. This would give me 3, 1, 1 with 3 points to put where I want. I'm going to assign my stats as 4, 2, 2. Step 4. List any ability or abilities the character gains from their species in the abilities section. Humans have adaptability, which means they gain advantage on all non-combat related rolls. Step 4 also specifies that if we gain any abilities as a result of our transformation, list them here as well. As an ancient, I don't gain any abilities of this sort. Step 5. Select 2 abilities related to the character's origin and list them in the abilities section. The warrior has 4 different abilities to choose from. I'm going to choose Weapon Master and Armor Master. This is going to allow me to use any weapons I want and use any armor I want. Step 6. List the starting health and energy related to the character's origin as the character's maximum health and maximum energy. Health is basically used to measure how much damage a character can take before they fall down. Energy is usually considered a sort of spirit energy used for spells, but there is usage for energy even for non-spellcasters. You can use a point of energy anytime to reroll a die. All warriors start with 30 health and 2 energy. Step 7. Select the appropriate number of bonuses, skills, spells specific to the character's origin and list them. As a warrior, I gain bonuses. 4 to be specific. I've chosen +2 to swords, +2 to pistols, +1 natural defense, and +1 regeneration. Attack bonuses always come in groupings of +2. So I have +2 swords. If I had it again, I would have +4 swords. This bonus gets added to the chance to hit and to the damage of the weapon. Natural defense gets added to my armor value, and regeneration is an amount of health that I regain every turn. Step 8. Add everything listed in the Starts With section of the character's transformation to the correct places. As an ancient, I start with +1 energy and 1 spell of choice from the Mega section upgraded once. This raises my energy to 3, and I've selected the spell Electricity. I placed a star next to it to designate that it's been upgraded once. Spells in ROTA can be standard, upgraded once, or upgraded twice, each time increasing their capabilities. Step 9. Copy the 8 capability increases available to the character's origin and the 2 capability increases available to the character's transformation into the advancements section, one next to each box. This is actually where ROTA really shines because this is determining the dynamic leveling that will go on throughout the game. All warriors get the following capability increases: +5 health, +5 health, +5 health, +1 energy, gain boost 1 bonus, gain boost 1 bonus, +1 stat, +1 stat. This fills 8 of the 10 available capability increase slots. The first 8 are always determined by your origin, and the last 2 are always determined by your transformation. As an ancient, my final 2 capability increases are +1 energy and upgrade 1 spell. You may have noticed a checkbox next to each capability increase. As you go throughout the game, you will check these off in order to gain that capability increase, spending advancement in order to do so. You can pick them in any order you want, and once all of them are selected, your character's tier increases from Tier 1 to Tier 2, Tier 2 to Tier 3, and so on. Each time the tier increases, you erase the check marks in these boxes, and you're able to do this again. So these capability increases are explaining how your character advances throughout the game. Looking this over, you may notice that I don't have a capability increase for this character that gives them a new spell. This is because of the way the Ancient is set up. Each transformation also has a section that says each tier. That section specifies what happens when your character gains a tier. In other words, when I go from Tier 1 to Tier 2, Tier 2 to Tier 3, and so on. When that happens, the Ancient gains 1 spell of choice. In fact, the only thing that happens for the Ancient whenever its tier goes up is that it gains 1 spell of choice, and you erase all the checks in the checkboxes for its capability increases. To quickly explain what it would be like to get a capability increase, if I was to have 3 unused advancement and decide to use it on a capability increase, I could put a check in the box next to that capability increase and permanently get that added to my sheet. For example, if I picked +5 health, I would gain a permanent +5 to my maximum health. If I gained +1 stat, I'd get to increase 1 stat. If I gain or boost 1 bonus, I get to increase one of my bonuses for being a warrior, or gain a new bonus. Upgrade a spell upgrades a spell, and +1 energy increases the character's total energy. I'll be gaining advancement throughout the game and using that to check off these capability increases and make these permanent changes to my character, but I don't do anything with them right now other than list them down so I know what they are. Every combination of origin and transformation is going to have a different list, so this greatly affects how a character changes over time in the game. Step 10. Purchase starting equipment including weapons, armor, and gear. The game leader will give you an amount of currency to spend. Typical starting currency is 200 UC, or universal credits. Fill in the character's weapons attacks section, armor section, charm section, and gear section from this. I've already selected all of this ahead of time, granting this character a great sword, 2 pistols, a long coat, and 25 UC worth of gear. I didn't pick up a charm because I didn't have enough currency to actually cover that. My ability to wield 2 pistols at once is only because of my character's Weapon Master ability, and my ability to wield the Greatsword is because of the character's Weapon Master ability. Something to note here is that the Greatsword's special ability includes Reach and Group. Reach means it can reach a distance away further than a typical melee weapon, and Group means that when I strike with it, I can hit all enemies within my reach. This is true of all 2-handed melee weapons in this game. Warriors are really good at swiping through several adversaries at once. You can see the attack stat is listed here, which is the bonus I get to my roll when trying to hit an enemy. You can see the damage of the weapon here. You can see its typical range and any special capabilities. In the armor section, you can see the natural armor that my character had from being a warrior is listed, as well as the body armor that I picked up. The total armor value is listed, and this will be added to my melee defense and range defense later. In the charm section, there is a charm defense, which would be added to mental defense if I had a charm, and in the gear section is any of my remaining items. Since players make all rolls in ROTA, you actually roll for both attack and defense. So melee defense would be added to your roll if you were defending against a melee attack, and your attack roll for your melee weapon is used if you're making a melee attack, as an example. Step 11. Using the values of the character's armor and charm sections along with their stats, fill in the speed, melee defense, mental defense, and range defense of the character. The character's speed is equal to their physical stat minus any speed loss from armor. Since my armor has no speed loss, I have 4 speed. This will get added to any initiative rolls I make. Melee defense is the physical stat plus the total armor value. Mental defense is the social stat plus the charm defense. And range defense is the technical stat plus the armor value. Since I have an armor value of 3 and a physical stat of 4, I have a 7 melee defense. Since I have a 2 social stat and no charm defense, I have a 2 mental defense. Since I have 2 technical and 3 armor, I have 5 range defense. Melee defense defends against melee attacks, range defense defends against ranged attacks, and mental defense is used for resisting charm and things of that nature. Finally, step 12. Review the character sheet with the game leader or a fellow player to have them validate everything looks correct. And here is the full character sheet in all its glory. This is Hector, the human warrior ancient, ready to begin play as a tier 1 character. If you're interested in seeing another character created, specifically a Strider operative demigod, watch the short character creation video to compare and contrast the differences. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to rate and share this video if desired. Feel free to leave a comment or question, and if you like this video and want to see more, press the subscribe button. If you are interested in purchasing Realms of the Ancients or other related materials, links are in the description below. If you'd like to see more right away, check out our channel page or click on the suggestion currently on your screen. Thanks again, and remember, the adventure requires people like you. After all, the cosmos isn't going to conquer itself.